Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unarmored Talk podcast. If you're watching, good to see you. I know I can't see you guys, but you guys can see me. It's been a couple of weeks. And if you're on audio, thank you for listening to what I believe is an amazing voice. I'm just joking, guys. That's just from feedback that I got from people. But before we get into today's episode and an amazing topic with a wonderful guest, you guys know the deal. Thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This wouldn't exist since 2020 if it weren't for amazing supporters and listeners and viewers. Number two, every video you guys watch, it generates funds that gets donated to Still Serving Incorporated. Since the last episode, you guys have it's averaging about $1 a day. Hey, that makes a big deal. It's not about the dollars, not about the money. It's about the impact on children in underserved communities. Last but not least, if you're looking for a nonprofit to support, another one, check out Operation Outside the Wire. Operation Outside the Wire. When you watch the video, it'll be a little banner that comes across the top. Just click on it, take a sip of your beverage of choice, and check it out. All right, I'm done with those opening remarks. Let's get to Abigail Manning. What's going on?
Good morning and happy Valentine's Day, Mario. I hope you and your family are having a wonderful start to your day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. We sure are. We're going to do some dinner tonight and whisper some sweet nothings to each other across the table. And I hope yours started off good as well.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit about Abigail Manning, and I'm going to turn it over to her. She is, just so you guys know, she's an entrepreneur. She's a motivational, inspirational keynote speaker. But here's the cool thing. She also supports through her business as an entrepreneur, the Special Operating Forces community through workshops, through coaching. She supports active duty military, veteran organizations, Wounded Warrior Project, and more. I can go on and on and on, but I am not. Abigail, welcome, and tell the listeners and viewers a little bit more about yourself, please.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. And thank you for all of the things you said starting out. It's about helping others in this world. And that is my mission, to help others see their limiting beliefs and what held them back and be able to thrive. So anytime we can have those kind of conversations, I'm happy to do it. And as you said, I work a lot with military and veterans. I am a proud mom of Marines. And so there's a lot of heartfelt kind of history there. And it just seems to be a good niche where I kind of understand the humor. I've been in it for a while now, and I'm delighted. I get to work in that area, and it's an honor and a delight. I work with some CEOs and companies and things like that on leadership development. But today it's just a fun day to think about some other concepts, perhaps, and I can't wait for your questions.
No worries. We're going to discuss it. I mean, let's just jump right into it. Proud mom of not a Marine, but Marines. You don't just have one devil dog, right? You got two Marines that are, even when they get out, you're still a Marine forever. Just become a Marine veteran. So let's talk about that. How did you ever imagine, your beautiful daughter and your son one day going, I want to go and join, I don't know, let's see, the Marine?
No. Stop. No. And my daughter's the older one, and she was the first one with the idea. And we're an athletic family. We're a competitive family. We ski and hike and run and all, like, bike and play tennis and all that kind of stuff. And I was always the kind of mom that would play the mind games, like we good parents do, right? Like, okay, we're going to keep running, but we're going to stop at the stop sign. And we get to the stop sign and they stop and they're like, I didn't say which stop sign. We're not stopping at the first stop sign.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so when my daughter was like, oh, I really, really, really want to go into the Marines, it wasn't anything else. Like, that was it. And I kept going to asking my friends, why? And they said, did you watch how you raised them? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, they don't clean the toilet right. You make them do 10 push-ups. Like, you're the only family I know who goes out on these big hikes, like, for fun, like, and everything. And it served her extremely well. I really did, Mario. I'll be honest. I fought her. I bribed her. I was going to bring that up, and of course you got your friends. Let's have a beverage, Abigail. Where did the community go wrong with the decision? But let's talk about what you just mentioned, because I was going to ask,
because I know my mom wasn't like, ooh, Mario, let's go.
Yeah.
What emotions did you experience and how did you navigate, right? How did you process those? What happened?
Well, first of all, she's very tough. My daughter's always been very tough. I raised them. I was a solo parent. They had abandonment things from their dad, and she was an athlete, a very good athlete. She worked really hard. She wasn't like extremely gifted. You know how some people can just pick up a ball and they toss it and it makes it through the net.
Right.
But she worked really hard. She saw me working really hard and she's like, Mom, that's our normal. That's what we do. And so I was really proud of her. She always had a drum beat. From kindergarten, she had her own drum beat, right? Like she heard her own drum beat, and I always encouraged her in that. And even though she was strong-willed, I always said things like, I believe in your ability to make good decisions.
Right.
Versus trying to tell her. Because if I tried to tell her what to do, forget it, right? And I'm like, you know what? She really wants this. And so we went and we researched it and we met with recruiters, and I was like, okay, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do it 100%. And I said, do you trust me to be like Mama Bear? Because she really wanted to be a police officer, right? And so the only position she wanted was MP. So I went in as Mama Bear, like, you are not getting my daughter unless you sign her up for MP. That is the only MOS. Boom, 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 boom. And so by the time my son went into the Marine Corps, they all, when I walked in, they were like, yeah, you scare us.
they had an APB out. They knew they had a laptop just for you. They had a tracker. And I love how you said, this is our decision, right? Mm-hmm. This is we're signing up.
We're signing
up. Which is interesting. That's the first time I really ever heard, that where it's like, you're not enlisting. We are enlisting.
Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this. Yeah, you are not alone. You are not alone through every struggle. And I grew up with a lot of the opposite. And that's why I was such a strong parent that way. I grew up with childhood abuse by both my parents. I grew up with an unloving, unsupportive, actually very counterproductive home. And the last thing I wanted, I was told all the things I was not and couldn't be and never would be. I did the opposite with limits. Like, you have to earn it, right? I'm not just going to say, oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so athletic, right? You have to earn it. And I would name it specifically. Like, I'm really proud of you. You got to be on that test. But do you know how hard you studied? You had a C going into that final semester, like that final coursework. I'm so proud. Like, notice the effort, be specific about it, build people up, right? Especially your own children, find the good in them, especially when they're not doing the good, especially when they're being resilient. They're supposed to be rebellious at some point. That's my opinion, right? Like, I don't want my kids living in my basement for the rest of their life. So when I can find those ways to support them, and that was her, she took that to heart, and she really did. I mean, there's a beautiful story I told in a speech one time for the crisis center at their gala about my daughter and how much she took it to heart. And she ended up taking first place at boot camp.
Like, honored grad out of boot camp while Parris Island, South Carolina, which is that's a beautiful place. Now it's no stress down there, right?
No stress.
No stress at all. Very easy. Very easy. Yeah. No, that's remarkable. And then, okay, right. Daughter, hey, we, right, your family, the Mannings become Marines 3 years later. I want to say they're 3 years apart. Yeah. And roughly 3 years later, okay, here comes
my son.
Your son. So how did that transpire?
Well, and he knew he wanted to go military too. And he was more open-minded about the different branches. So we went around, and he's very analytical and he's very balanced. He's very calm. I've always said if I had to go to a knife fight, I would take my daughter. And if I had to go in front of a judge, I would take my son. And so he interviewed with everybody, and he's like, Mom, I knew he was severely dyslexic, and we worked again. You're not alone. I believe in you. You are brilliant. This is a brilliant brain you have. We are going to figure this out, right? Like, we are going to figure it out. And then in high school, it clicked. And man, he took off, just absolutely took off. So he knew he knew he was smart, and he knew he only wanted Intel. So then he started interviewing, what are you going to do for me? Like he interviewed them. And
Right.
I was like, good on you. Good on you. And he decided that growing up without a dad, he wanted to be a Marine because then he knew he was smart and he knew he was also a man's man. And those were his words, right? And he did both. So my daughter ended up becoming HMX-1, which is Presidential Helicopter Security.
Wow.
She did become MP, and yeah, she did work. All of that was amazing. And then my son is Intel. He was deployed for 4 years with infantry, and now he's with Cyberspace Command in DC.
Nice.
So
Nice.
they're
Look at that.
out there doing it.
I mean, that is cool. I mean, think about it. They're 2 and 5 years old, right? Daughter's 5, you know, son is 2. Dad somehow comes, you know, gets out of the picture, and they're at that very young, impressionable age, you know, right? Mom goes, "Hey, we're in this together," and not imagining that they would go, "Okay, Mom, thank you, Mama Bear, thank you. Now we're going to the Marines," and here we are today. Valentine's Day, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this will be published a couple of days after. And look at the success story, and I love it. So looking back, now you have 2 Marines. Of course, their decisions probably didn't align with yours at the moment, but I love again how you said this is our journey in the Marines. Looking back, what advice can you give a parent or parents that have people serving in the military today, or potentially someone that may say, "I want to join tomorrow"? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, love. When you choose to thrive, you choose to love. And sometimes it's really, really hard. And it's not about you as a parent, it's about the child. And as a spouse, it's not about you as a spouse, it's about the marriage, it's about the relationship, right? And I think we all go farther and better and have much more empowered lives when we look at it that way. And when our inner close circle, our family or friends, maybe it's your colleagues, maybe you don't have children or a family of, or you're like me, your family of origin is not healthy for you to be around. That finding those people that you are 100% invested in, that you will move mountains for, and you know they will move mountains for you, that is what becomes unstoppable. So it doesn't matter what mountain you're going to move, right? It's their mission, it's their purpose, it's their passion. And when you light that fire underneath them and you keep fanning the embers and you believe in them, because there are going to be times over and over and over, we're not going to believe in ourselves. There are going to be times that people that love themselves, love who they are most of the time, are going to have what I call purple threads, limiting personal thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not, the right age. I don't have the right education. I'm never going to make. All of that can consume us. And if we have accountability buddies around us, family, friends, colleagues, who are like, not on my watch. Mario, you're not going to talk about yourself when I'm around. Like, all right, have your 5-minute pity party, and then we're going to rope our sleeves and get to work and make it happen. Like, it's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to have a disagreement, and it's okay to not have the same belief as the people around you. But if they have it burning in them, like, love them, to support them, and give time, energy, money.
That is amazing. I can relate to some of them, like the short one. Everybody know me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a problem with telling you I'm 5'2.5" and shrinking. But thank you again so much. And how can people find you? Because if one person doesn't connect with this amazing professional, I don't know what I can do to you, but I'll just imagine something. Please connect. How can we find you?
Thank you. So AbigailGManning.com, ABIGAIL. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me through my website. You can find you through show notes. I'm sure you can find me. And I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your inspiration. It helps me grow. It helps me on my path, especially if it helped anything that you and I shared today. If it helps on their path, I know you probably feel the same way. We would love to hear it. And thank you. Thanks for letting me be on your show and share a little insight that I might have.
No, well, hey, she's got a wonderful coffee mug. I'm gonna cheers Abigail before we get off. It says, "Well, life is good." If you guys are listening, jump on the YouTube channel, check out the nice American flag. Stay true. So cheers from my coffee mug. Cheers from me to you. Take a sip of that. And again, if you're listening, get on that YouTube channel, check out some of the video footage. But ladies and gentlemen, listeners and viewers, everyone, thank you so much. You guys be safe out there. God bless everyone. And I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Abigail, have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Thank you. You too.